The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq closed last week with modest gains, but the Dow Jones notched a stunning rally. The US stock market is opening a new week cautiously ahead of the high-impact events. Three major central banks are due to make their policy decisions. Besides, three US high-tech giants will present their corporate reports for the second quarter. Wall Street indexes closed mixed on Friday with minor changes. The Dow Jones looked a 0.01% uptick on Friday, but closed the week with the longest winning streak in 6 years. The Nasdaq slipped by 0.22% on Friday. The S&P 500 climbed by a modest 0.33%. to close at 4,536 points. The benchmark stock indexes traded in the green in the New York pre-market today, and the S&P 500 is likely to trade in the intraday corridor between 4,510 and 4,580 points. The Dow Jones grew on a Friday for the 10th session straight, the longest rally in almost 6 years. The index of the blue-chip stocks has jumped by more than 6% this year. The S&P 500 has notched even a bigger gain of 18%. At the same time, the high-tech sector put a lid on the stock indexes. Nvidia and Meta shares lost more than 2% each. Netflix shares dropped by 2.3% for the second day after the corporate results of the streaming company discouraged investors. In addition, American Express shares stumbled by 3.9% after the credit card giant failed to estimate quarterly earnings and reiterated its earnings guidance for the full year. The leading sector in the S&P were utilities and healthcare. For the week, the S&P 500 gained 0.7%, the Nasdaq fell by 0.6%, and the Dow rose by 2.1%. US stock index futures rose on a Monday. In anticipation of important corporate reports, investors hold their breath ahead of the key high-tech revenues that will paint in a picture of how the demand and the artificial intelligence rates are shaping up. Tech giants Microsoft and Alphabet will report on Tuesday, while Meta will release its report on Wednesday. Traders expect the mega-caps to signal the end of a nearly year-long downturn in the cloud business, while the surge in digital ads will boost profits. Meanwhile, for Tesla, the losing streak from last week has continued into the new one. Shares of the electric car maker shed 1.3% in a pre-market trading after UBS downgraded the stock. The centerpiece of the week is the Fed's policy meeting on Wednesday, where the central bank is expected to raise interest rates by 25 basis points. Most economists still expect this to be the last rate hike in the ongoing tightening cycle after the data showed the signs of disinflation. In addition, as a reminder, exchange operator Nasdaq reduced the weight of some of the companies that make up almost half of the Nasdaq in the order to eliminate excessive concentration in the index. Goldman Sachs on a Monday noted that the bank estimates that the reduction in the weight of individual companies will lead to passive net sales in excess of the average daily trading volume at Alphabet and more than 1/3 of the daily volume at Microsoft, Amazon and Nvidia. In the pre-market, Nvidia was down 1.4%, while Alphabet was up almost 1%. Apple and Amazon traded almost flat. Shares of Broadcom, whose wind in the Nasdaq is likely to increase after the rebalancing, rose by 1.6%. Thanks to the success of the Barbie movie, which set a record as the biggest debut of 2023, Warner Brothers stock added 0.7%. In addition to the corporate sector, the macroeconomic calendar today contains fresh business activity indexes, although the market reaction to this data may be restrained. The US dollar opened higher this trading week, and popular currency pairs remain under pressure as major central banks are widely expected to complete monetary tightening soon, and the US dollar index gained 0.14% intraday to trade at 101.20, and the intraday Canada is seen between 100.7 and 101.50. This trading week is going to be volatile also in the currency market, as three major central banks are due to announce their policy decisions. Futures markets suggest that the Fed's expected quarter-point hike to 5.25 and 5.5% on Wednesday will be the latest in a 16-month cycle, leaving the prospect of another rate hike by the year and less than 50% likely. Almost the same forecast for the euro. Markets see that the ECB rate will rise by a quarter of a percentage point to 4.25%, and that this will be the final stage with a 50% probability. On the other hand, the Bank of Japan is likely to stick to the policy of ultra-easy money. Expectations of the completion of a tightening cycle are cemented on Monday in the light of a business activity data in the euro area. All PMIs came out well below forecast, indicating a reduction in the overall business activity this month. The euro fell by more than half of a percentage point against the US dollar, whose index gained ground. The market sentiment on forex may change after the release of the July US business surveys. Despite some advance in the US dollar, the Canadian dollar found support today from the commodity market, and the USD CAD fell by 0.18% in the midday to trade at 1.3197. The instrument is trading inside the Canada between 1.3170 and 1.3240. Oil prices went up on Monday. Brent crude futures added 0.44% to trade at $81.42 a barrel. WTI futures climbed by 0.84% to trade at $77.72. Last week, both benchmark rates grew by 1.5% and 2.2% respectively, and closed with gains for 4 weeks in a row. The rise in oil prices reflected tightening global supplies as cuts in Saudi Arabia's oil production waned on the prices, even though some demand for gasoline and jet fuel increased. While another Fed rate hike this week could lead to some short-term price volatility, production cuts and speculation over China's economic stimulus could be a driving force for growth in oil prices. The crypto market is overwhelmed by the doom and gloom, and the market is hit by a sell-off of popular cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin lost 3% earlier today and found interim support at 29,200. Popular altcoins also went down in sync. Ethereum, Solana, Ripple, Cardano, Binance, and Litecoin incurred losses to a different extent. The ongoing standoff between the crypto industry and financial watchdogs is putting pressure on crypto assets. After several unsuccessful attempts to break out of the vicious cycle, the coins will fell in sync. WorldCoin, a cryptocurrency project founded by OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, was launched today, and the project's offering is its world idea, which the company describes as a digital passport. The project has amassed 2 million users since its beta testing. As an incentive for those who register in certain countries will receive a world coin, WLD cryptocurrency token. WLD price on a Binance perked at $5.29. As for the intraday outlook for Bitcoin, it's far from rosy. The token found support at 29,200. If it's able to protect it, the price could recover to 29,800 and 30,200. The alternative scenario is bearish, and the price could decline to $28,400 and $28,200. InstaForex analysts are monitoring your comments. Leave your feedback below the video and see you online tomorrow.